Hi everyone, welcome to Digital Fortress. This is a live stream. I'll just wait a few minutes for it to dial in. I'm going to start using OBS in a little bit. And I set up, I rearranged my rig here with the video and audio a little bit. So I wanted to test it out, and I thought, well, what is interesting to test it out on? So I figured I would. This is a live stream. I'll just wait a few minutes. I think back to an article that I read a little while ago. And I thought, well, maybe that article would be an interesting thing I could do a live stream on and have a little bit of fun on a Friday night. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you how to make crypto articles headlines more accurate and interesting, because sometimes they can be rather bland. Sometimes they can be sensationalized where they don't really represent or say what the article is really about. They're kind of like hyped up a little bit, sometimes a bit. It's near and dear to my heart, something that I think is particularly fun. Hi Ryan Jones, how you doing there? Okay, something that I think is a pretty interesting, kind of fun, and so I'm going to I'm going to show you how to make articles more interesting. Okay, so I'm going to screen my share. I'm going to share my screen here, and see also at. Sorry, it's Friday evening. I just woke up from a nap. I had a nap. It was a long week. Okay, so let me share my screen. I'm going to show you the article. You'll find this interesting. How to make them more interesting. How do I make them more interesting? Okay, let's see how this goes. Share my desktop. All right, let me make sure that goes out on YouTube. Saki S, how are you doing, sir? How are you? Okay, all right, so hopefully you can see my screen over there. Yeah, okay. All right, so over here on the left, there's an article from Cointelegraph from in March titled, "The Cardano Foundation is Sued by Former Research Partner." That's the title of the article. I'll put a link to it down below, I guess, after the live stream. And then the subtitle here says, "The Cardano Foundation is being sued by a former research partner." Pretty bland, okay? Pretty bland. First of all, it recycled the title into the subtitle here. Let's spice that up a little bit. First, let's take a look into the article a little bit, and then do a little bit of research. And that's what can make crypto articles more interesting and still be relatively accurate. This is a little bit of parody, by the way. You could probably tell by my tone of voice. John Quest says 9 out of 10 are misleading and intentionally ignoring competing projects. Yes, you're going to find this one interesting too. What else does... crypto journalism sucks. It really does. It's left to idiots like me on YouTube to make videos like this in order to really get the information out there, because either they're afraid of getting sued, or they're lazy, or they don't really understand the project, or they don't really understand the details. So instead of making interesting and accurate crypto articles, we end up with, on one extreme, you end up with bland crap like this, and on the other end of the spectrum, you end up with hype, and there's no real journalism in the middle. So to be called a journalist in crypto nowadays would be an insult. I certainly hope I don't think you consider me a journalist, just a talking head on YouTube. Hey, Red Man, what's up? Okay, so over on the left-hand side of my screen here, I got the Cardano Foundation being sued by former research partner. So let's take a look into it a little further. ZN Group, former research partner, and ZN Group is limited fintech think tank. Yeah, nice word. I like think tank. How do you define a think tank? And it's an intellectual property rights dispute, and it goes on to a little bit of the history, that there was a contract violation or something to that effect dated in July 2017. The Cardano Foundation voided or terminated the agreement for various reasons. Various reasons. I can tell you what those reasons were. I was there around that time. It had to do with Michael Parsons, the then chairman of the Cardano Foundation. So you go, well, who is ZN? Who are they and what do they do? I don't know. So let's take a look. We go over here to ZN. I mean, if you were an investigative journalist, you might want to take a look and say, who are these ZN people, right? Wouldn't you want to know? I'd want to know. So I'm going to go over here to ZN. And you have a bunch of people on here. It doesn't really say who they are. It's their names and their photos, and it's a very nice website. And you don't know who they are, okay? But you do a little bit of digging, and you find Professor Michael Manelli is the director of ZN, or was maybe former director of ZN Group Limited. So there's the guy in charge. So we can start modifying this headline now. ZN Professor Michael Manelli. So Michael Manelli is suing the Cardano Foundation. Maybe that sounds a little more interesting. But you know what happens with these people who they got big money and big connections and big power? They just kind of obfuscate and well, that's just another company. That's like my little side project over there. I'm not really suing them. That's somebody else's business. I don't think so. This here says you're the director. So let's go check out LinkedIn, shall we? Let's go check out LinkedIn. Let's see what his LinkedIn says. Oh, Executive Chairman, ZN Group, Michael Manelli. Go figure. What else does it say on his LinkedIn? Sheriff of the City of London. Sheriff of the City of London is suing the Cardano Foundation. Now that sounds more interesting, doesn't it? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Who was head of the Cardano Foundation in 2017? Michael Parsons. Here's an article that's a little bit more interesting. Where was this one at? This was on financemagnates.com. Michael Parsons, chairman of the Cardano Foundation, has relinquished his title according to official announcement. Okay? So when this all went down in 2017, it was BFFs, Michael Manelli and Michael Parsons, who were in charge of these organizations at the time that it happened. Sounds, so let's fix this article. Here's the headline. Cardano Foundation is sued by former research partner. And so we're going to copy and paste that over here into Microsoft Word document. And we're going to make this this is just an example, okay? It's just an example. We are going to say Sheriff of London, Michael Manelli, sues, whoops, I should use a capital F, former BFF money laundering racket before the Cardano Foundation was fixed by all of the current people who do all the hard work and are actually trying to do cryptos as opposed to the person who was there before. This is just an example. Okay. So now what do I do next? Okay, I need to fix this subtitle. It says the Cardano Foundation is being sued by former research partner. And what should that say to make it more interesting? Let's paste it. So you can like put in an opinion in here, I guess. And we're gonna say, how do I say this? Here's a good way of putting it. These two motherfuckers belong in jail. There, that's better. Now it actually, a little bit of opinion on there. Just a little bit. A little bit of parody, a little bit of opinion. It's all good. So doesn't that sound more interesting? That's a lot more interesting, probably a lot more accurate too, because in the United States under the RICO Act, people you're doing kickbacks, if you're running an organization, now you got to have some evidence. If someone did a little digging, they could probably find it. But yeah, so in the U.S. you got like the RICO Act for racketeering and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, this kind of stuff goes on, and sometimes they get caught, and sometimes they don't. Just depends on how it all goes down. But I just want to show you guys how to fix a poorly worded crypto article and make it a little more interesting. Which one do you like better? The one on the left or the one on the right? Which one sounds better? I think the one on the right is a little more accurate. Sounds a little better. So, all right, I just wanted to get that out there so you guys see how that works. I'm going to wrap it up for the evening. I know it's Friday night, and you all probably have better things to do, like self-isolating. I know that's always a lot of fun. So you'll have a good Friday night and a great weekend, and you stay safe out there. Take care. Bye-bye.